I didn't do a video for a few days. I'm not sure how many exactly, but I didn't do it yesterday, the day before, and I don't think I did one on Friday. I don't remember. Maybe I did do on Friday. So at least for 2 days, I haven't done a video. So there are things I want to tell you guys about. I'll start off with what I want to say. Oh, let me pause this and bring this craft better, closer so that you can get a better look at it. So this is a very easy craft. I'll put the link to the video in the description that you can just do with just scrap paper that you have. You don't even have to use anything special. This is, mailing labels, the back, the glossy part. You could just make them into simple, easy flowers. And let me just show you how. You fold a piece of paper in half and then you make hearts. But I didn't make them like drawn out, just but with the scissor so that it's not perfectly formed. So when you look at it like this, it's a heart, but it's not a perfectly formed heart. But when you open it up, it looks like little wings that just flew away, little wings. So you could just use it like this and make wings out of it. But if you take two of them together and place one on top of the other, it makes a quick and easy flower. And then you could put something in the center, just glue it together. So that's a craft that takes seconds to make. And when you get to the part where you don't have a fold, then you could just take the four pieces and I'll rip them apart. You see that? Rip them apart and just put one on top of the other and glue it together to make a flower. So that's a simple, easy craft. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that in 2017, I went to Morel. There used to be a Morel store and they sell wine. And I did a video where I was describing it, but I can't find the video. Sometimes I can't find my videos for some reason. And I talked about it and I told you guys I thought I spent $25. I spent $25 on a bottle of wine, which I normally don't do. And it's called Melville Chardonnay Santa Rita Hills. And I did a video about it. I can't remember what I said in the video because I did it maybe in 2021 or 2022. It was a while ago. But I wanted to talk to you guys about that, and then I'll tell you what they're talking about. So, I usually don't buy anything expensive, if I can help it. I try not to buy expensive things. And so I treated myself to this $25 bottle of wine. It was good. I used to love Chardonnay. I probably still do, but I haven't had a glass of wine in so long. And it was good. And what I planned on doing was doing a review of it at the time. I don't really remember it now, but I wanted to do a review. But instead of being able to do the review, I did I showed you guys the bag, and I don't know if I had the bottle or what, because I did some of the parts of this review, but I never put it together and published it. Back then I could edit my videos and put different videos together into one big video. Now I can't do that. Um, so that's what I wanted to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you guys about that. I also want to talk to you guys before I get into what they're saying. There's something that they're talking about now that really bugs me. And they said, oh God, or something like that. I think that is it. Do you see how every little thing I do is a problem with them? When you are around people who care about you, every little thing about you doesn't bother them. And when they bother me and I bother them and we don't like each other, we shouldn't be around one another. That is the reason. Because at a point, and I think anyone who's ever lived knows this. I think even probably very inexperienced young children know this, that if something always bothers you about something, I think they do kind of leave that situation because it's just a natural reaction. And I don't think it has anything to do with age. Sometimes you say, well, as I get older. No, I think this is pretty much things that we know. That if something about something makes you feel uncomfortable, bothered, it's not an oh God. It's this isn't for me. That's what this whole thing taught me. That they said, and I'll get into what they're talking about. They said that they needed me because for some reason when I'm around, things are better for them. They feel better. That's a really bad sign. That's the last thing you want in looking for someone. They said I shouldn't give advice because I haven't had good relationships. Well, clearly I have. Why would you be around someone who hasn't had good relationships and expect a good relationship from that person if I never had good relationships, but I bring good things? That sounds like craziness. And I think that when I say these things and it sounds like craziness, they get upset, but I'm repeating what they're saying. So they're upset that I'm repeating what they're saying because they would rather me not tell the world what they're talking about. It's absolute insanity. If you have someone who you think is bad in relationships, why would you try to have a relationship with that person and expect it to be good? Then I'm going to get into a whole, I did a series, just the last series, called Conscience. Like, what's on your conscience? But they say, what about a great expectations? They have this fantasy that my apartment turned into Grey Gardens, yet they wanted to move people in. Again, it's absolute insanity. So I'm going to talk about how I think, they don't like when I use the word crazy, but I'm going to title this whole thing crazy. And what crazy is. Crazy is when things don't make sense and you say it out loud and it doesn't make sense. And then when you tell other people and they say, that doesn't make any sense, you still think it makes sense. At some point, how do you get through to people who aren't making any sense that they're not making any sense without making myself crazy? They said in some of my videos when I'm clearly arguing with them, I seem